Islam is a peaceful religion, but it is constantly being linked to violence. Tonight on the 504, a conversation on Islam and its image in today's society. We'll take a look at how the media is affecting how Muslims are treated around the world. Some say that the hit movie American Sniper is making things worse. Plus, Governor Jindal is in hot water after some accuse him of playing into the cultural fear surrounding Islam. The 504 starts right now. Well, good evening and welcome to the 504. Negative images of Islam are everywhere. There's Boko Haram, the terrorist group in Nigeria that claims to act in the name of Islam, countless stories of attacks carried out by Islamic militants, and now a new hit movie that portrays Muslims as the enemy. We have put together a panel tonight to discuss the current image of Islam in today's society. Hanan Ramawi is a student at Tulane University, Jenny Yanez is a community organizer, and Jay Jabbar is a local entrepreneur. They are here for tonight's conversation. And thank you all so much for being with us. I first wanted to say we did want to invite you guys on, and I know I talked about some negative images of Islam. We'll talk about that later and respond. But do you find that Islam is enough in the conversation when something is not going wrong? Jenny, I'll start with you.
I would say that yes, unfortunately, the portrayal of Muslims in the media is usually a negative one. And that's not to say that there aren't horrible things happening around the world. But that is usually the only portrayal of Muslims in the media. And so as an American Muslim, there's many things that we're doing to contribute to society. Yet we don't have a relationship with the media where we can share those things as well, and even share our opinions when we are denouncing terrorism around the world, when we're talking about what Muslims are doing to stop ignorance about their faith. And so it's not that Muslims aren't willing to speak to the media, it's that nobody is listening to us, nobody's asking us.
Gotcha. All right, well, we have you guys here tonight, and we do want to start with the positive. So, Jay, I want to know a little bit about you. You're an entrepreneur. You told me your entire family practices Islam, and you have 8 brothers and sisters, so there's a lot of you guys, right?
I'm one of 8, yes.
Yeah.
4 older sisters, 3 younger brothers, very loving family, very united. I'm also a father of 3 beautiful children.
All right.
And a lifelong resident of New Orleans.
All right, so raising your children to be Muslim as well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what do you want people to know about Islam that you feel they don't know already?
Well, I mean, I'd like to clarify the misconception that Islam is a religion of war and terror, and it's the opposite of that. It really, truly is a religion of peace, and that's what I want people to realize and understand, that it truly is a religion of peace.
Is it shocking to see how many people relate it with violence as someone who's grown up and said, I've been raised in this peaceful religion, why is everyone thinking this is so violent?
I mean, it's unfortunate that is the mindset of most people, but me growing up and living amongst my peers of opposite faiths, you know, I hope they can attest to the fact that as a Muslim, you know, I hold true, very dear to my heart, the fact that, you know, we want peace as much as any other in this society, and that it can be achieved, and it is something that we hold very dear to our hearts.
Gotcha. All right, and Hanan, you are a student. You study Islam as well, and were you raised Islamic?
Yes, I was raised a Muslim. I was raised in New Orleans. I graduated from Ursuline Academy, and I'm currently a student at Tulane.
All right, and what do you feel that you want people to know about Islam?
Well, just to sort of reiterate what he said about that it's not a religion of war, of terror. I think it's really unfortunate, again, as he said, that we often hear Islam in relation to terror. We often hear these murderers being called Islamists. And I mean, of course, when people see Islam weaved into Islamists, they're going to automatically associate the two. In essence, the two will become synonymous. And I want people to know that there are normal Americans living as Muslims who are, like Jenny said, contributing to society.
I think that's a great point you made there, normal, right? Because we do get this radicalized vision of what a Muslim is. And Jenny, I want to touch on you because Hanan and Jay were both raised Muslim. You were actually a convert. What made you convert?
Oh, that's correct. When I was 22 years old, I was at University of New Orleans, and I met students from different faiths and different, at the dorms, from different countries, from different parts of the country, of this country as well. And so, you know, you engage in dialogue, you talk about religion, you talk about politics, and I had already had my doubts on my faith, and in the place where I was in my journey, Islam answered those questions for me. And I was a consider myself a feminist.
Okay.
And I currently consider myself a women's rights activist.
What about another religion? Did you consider yourself another religion?
Well, I was raised in the Catholic faith, but I
Okay.
was influenced by my stepdad who was Baptist. So I was open to explore different faiths and how I felt about that faith. And I believed that God was one, and I believed in Jesus, but I didn't believe that Jesus was God. I believed that he was a prophet. And so that is what brought me to Islam. And then it was a slow progression of living your life as a Muslim after that.
All right, well, yesterday was World Hijab Day, and I do want to start with you, Hanan, because you are not wearing one and you don't wear one regularly, correct?
Right.
All right, kind of talk about, is that a stance you take? Because I think from an American viewpoint, right, there was a video out for World Hijab Day, and a lot of people kept asking the ladies who were wearing them, hey, you're in America now, why are you wearing this? Why don't you wear one?
Well, I mean, at this point in my life, I don't feel like I'm good enough to be wearing a hijab. I mean, you know, anytime anyone's wearing a hijab, it's immediately obvious that they're Muslim. And so obviously they are representative of Islam. So I mean, at this point, like I said in my life, I just want to strengthen my own values and be the best person I can be before I become a representation of Islam, literally.
That's really interesting. All right, and then you are wearing one, Jenny. Kind of talk about that.
And it's everybody has a different path and a different journey on their faith and in their life. So, and in my journey, like I said, I used to consider myself a feminist, and I still consider myself, the difference is, a women's rights activist. But I felt that this is something that now enables me to show my womanhood and who I am in my terms. So it protects my modesty, and it shows, it helps me to show that I'm not an object, and I only expose what I want to expose. But the real reason I do it is because I believe that God ordered me to do it. And so as a person of faith, I believe that if God says that this is a good thing, and Islam, part of Islam doesn't just mean peace, but it means submission to the will of the one God.
All right.
So in order to submit,
That's
one of my actions.
And Jay, I do want you to quickly weigh in here. As a man, a Muslim living in America, are the women in your life wearing hijabs?
My mother wears it, and I have a sister who wears it, and I respect that. I mean, I think it eliminates the symbol that women are objects of, how should I read it? Can we cut
Desire?
that?
Are you going for that?
Well, no, I mean,
or that they are objectified. Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. I mean, you know, I believe it demonstrates a symbol that women are much more than their physical appearance, but to appreciate them for their true worth of what they can offer to what they can contribute to society through their personal achievements and
All right.
Hijab is an empowering thing.
Not to focus on the physical is what you're getting at, Jay. All right, I wanted to hear a man's perspective on that. We are going to have to take a break, though, but we have a lot more to talk about tonight. Earlier this month, Governor Jindal sparked outrage, saying that Muslim immigrants in Europe have created areas where non-Muslims aren't welcome. We're going to talk about the backlash from that story. And our panel is going to weigh in on some other headlines. We continue our conversation on Islam after the break.